This is the Backbone 1 for iPhone and PlayStation. It not only has allowed me to start to catch up on my gaming backlog, but has completely changed my mind on mobile gaming as well. In today's review, we'll explore how it's done along with the rest of the features, so you know if it's worth the $99 or not. However, there is a huge flaw with this device that most aren't mentioning that will drastically change your mind, but you'll have to stay till the end of the video to find out what it is. For full transparency, I did receive this product for free through Best Buy's Tech Insider program in exchange for an unbiased written review on bestbuy.com, but that will not bias my opinion in any way. They have no influence over it and don't even know this review exists. So let's get nerdy. If you're anything like me, you have a huge backlog of games, not only on your console, but also on your PC. As personally, I buy games when they are on sale, but due to adulting hard, I rarely ever have time to actually sit down and play. So the list just continues to grow and grow and grow, which is where the Backbone 1 comes in, as its entire purpose in life is to allow you to take your gaming on the go. It supports Google Stadia, Apple Arcade, Xbox Cloud Gaming, PS Remote Play, and Stream Link, meaning whenever you have some free time, you can just boot up this guy and chip away at those games. All you have to do is plug in your iPhone into the Backbone 1 controller and launch the Backbone Plus app, or go into the dedicated remote gaming app directly, and it turns into a mobile console like a Nintendo Switch or Stream Deck, with your phone acting as the screen and the brain of the unit, the controller as the input device, and the Backbone 1 app as the operating system. You can then either play mobile games, which support controller, which give you a massive advantage over the competition, by the way, or my personal favorite, launch PS Remote Play or Stream Link, which allows you to access all of your PlayStation or PC games. It uses your console or PC to run said games while sending a low latency signal to your iPhone, allowing you to play games anywhere that has a strong internet connection. Going forward, for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to say console or PS5, but I use this extensively on both my PlayStation and my PC, and it worked beautifully. Personally, I found this to be most useful when I'm on vacation or at work during my lunch break, as all I have to do is pack this little controller and my phone, and my entire gaming catalog is with me without having to risk the safety of my console being damaged or stolen. I just need to make sure that I leave my console in a low-powered mode or on so I can connect to it. Otherwise, it won't work. The next best place I use it is when going over to a friend's house, as instead of bringing my console with me, as most games these days don't support split screen, I can just bring this instead, and we can sit in the same room like the good old days and play with him on his PC or console and me on my Backbone. Absolutely incredible. Third best place is just around your own house. Maybe you're required to spend some time with your family in the living room, or you want to play games while you eat, or maybe you need to take a crap and want to remote in while doing so. Maybe you want to get in a match or two before bed, and in between games you can get ready and get into your bed and then slay away. Really, your imagination is your limit. Which brings us to the biggest con of this device, the fact that it requires a high-speed internet connection. For me at work, I don't have a strong enough internet connection through that Wi-Fi, so it won't work there. I also don't have unlimited data on my phone, so that won't work, and even if I did, I don't have a high enough speed to make it work. So the likelihood of you playing this on a bus or on a train that doesn't natively have Wi-Fi is highly unlikely, which really cuts down on the fun and the value of this. I also find it kind of pointless to play inside your own house, as personally, outside of exigent circumstances, I'd rather just play on my physical console over a shrunk down version of it. One thing I also wish they would add is the ability to plug in an external monitor. As picture this, you're in a hotel room after spending all day at the amusement park. All you want to do is just kick back and relax and play some Horizon Zero Dawn. So you pick up your Backbone and you plug it into the hotel room's TV while your PlayStation at home is whirring away. How freaking sick would that be? I'm telling you, it'd be awesome. If you're enjoying this video thus far, make sure to give it a like. If you hate it, give it a dislike. And of course, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more like this. We've gone over how it works and the practical use cases, but how well does it work? I'm glad you asked. This is where the magical part of their marketing comes in, as it does feel surreal, as the moment I plug in my iPhone into the controller and launch the Backbone Plus app, which you can do by pressing this little orange button right here, it feels like my phone has completely disappeared and I'm holding on to an incredibly powerful mobile console, as iPhones have some serious horsepower in them, while also having incredible screens. So it destroys any mobile game you throw at it. And if you're remoting into your console, then it takes the load, leaving you with a fanless and heatless gaming experience with low latency. It actually blows my mind how well this works. I could play the game with this controller while watching my monitor and TV, and it feels like I'm directly plugged in. That's how low latency it is. However, I do still feel some latency that I really feel during shooting games or competitive games such as Halo or Call of Duty. Less Call of Duty because the time to kill is so quick there, but Halo, where you have to really track and be accurate, I did feel some latency. It was still doable, but I didn't perform at the same level. Part of that could also be due to this being 60 hertz. It really is incredible, and it blows my little nerd brain and gives me a full-on nerd boner, and has completely changed my mind on mobile gaming, as it is actually viable now, as you don't have to sacrifice power, and mobile gamings have become seriously impressive, and I swear all the top tier talent has bailed on consoles and PC and gone over to mobile gaming, as the quality of life stuff there, outside of the disgusting amount of money they make, is rock solid, which actually makes me really sad because I much prefer console and PC gaming. Or at least this was the case for the games that I tried, but I'm still in my honeymoon phase here, so do take that with a heavy grain of salt. While I was playing PUBG Mobile, Apex Legends Mobile, and COD Mobile, I straight up destroyed people, as this controller feels super responsive. I'm talking 20-0 games on COD, 14 kills on Apex Legends, and win after win, and chicken dinners for everyone on PUBG Mobile. It made me feel like a god at gaming, despite never gaming on mobile before. But that's mostly because, well, A, I'm completely new to this, and I was probably fighting bots, like actual bots, and not humans that are just so bad that they come across as bots. And B, most people probably aren't using controllers, which gives you a huge advantage to just crap all over them and their newbie touchscreen controlled devices as they just stand still, and yet I still miss them far more than I would like to admit. I'd show you the footage, but that's top secret and classified material, only available to my YouTube members. Just kidding, it's not available there, but if you would like to monetarily support this channel so I can bring more awesome content like this to you, consider becoming one. I actually meant that to be a joke, but it turned into a call to action as the opportunity was just so sweet I couldn't miss it. I also played through a bit of Spider-Man and Horizon Zero Dawn, which, apart from some very occasional moments where things would get a bit fuzzy, I had zero issues, which just further reinforces the magical feel of this, as the tech seems really ironed out. My biggest complaint here are that the joysticks are incredibly small, making movement limited compared to a real controller. I definitely need to invest in some control freaks for this guy, which as of this review don't actually exist. Control freak, if you could get on that, that would be awesome. So you'd have to buy some for the Switch or something that is similar, and hopefully it works out. I don't even know if that's a thing. Second, some of the buttons can be confusing to figure out. For example, the touchscreen on the PS5 controller that often opens the map, it took me a long time to realize I need to double or triple press the middle of my screen to get that to pop up correctly, which reminds me, even though you have physical buttons, your touchscreen still completely works for everything and is used for a ton of things. So there's definitely an acclimation period where you need to learn new control configurations and how to get some of those more nuanced things, which usually requires you to actually touch your screen. Who would have figured that? Not me, obviously. Additionally, the layout, as you can see, is not your traditional PlayStation layout where you have the sticks like on the same thing, so that took a little bit of getting used to too. It is just because everything's in a different spot, as technically this was made as an Xbox controller first. How dare they? Last, for a lot of games it doesn't zoom in, and instead you are left with black boxes on the sides, making an already tiny screen even smaller. A bonus tip that also took me way too long to figure out and makes me seriously wonder if I have an IQ or not is that your iPhone, if it is muted, it won't play any sound. Even though you're turning up the sound and you see it turning up, nothing's happening. That's because you need to unmute your device. Again, absolutely flabbergasted. I'm pretty sure I'm a moron. So if you run into that problem, make sure that you're not muted. But you may be asking yourself, Tommy, how does it feel? So I've gone an incredibly long time without actually giving you a look at the device. So If you're still here, I definitely applaud you, and I appreciate it. You're an MVP, and if I could jump through the screen and fist bump you, I totally would. This device feels great, like a legit controller, a very lightweight controller. I notice no creaking, and it feels incredibly well put together and very solid. But $99 worth? However, it is very comfortable in the hand, and you can play for long periods without any issues. Where you place your phone has a rubber around it to prevent it from damaging your phone. You start by putting in the top of your phone into the left part of the controller, and then pull on the right side, line up the lightning port, and then you press and it clicks. And then sometimes it lights up that little button, and then you unlock your screen and you press the button and it opens the backbone up and you're ready to go. It's really easy, and this spring is really balanced and I love it. It's not too tight, but it isn't loose either. I personally use an iPhone 12 Pro to test this out. It does come with an adapter for the iPhone 13 Pro and 13 Max. Going into the actual device itself, both triggers feel like your traditional PS4 triggers. L1 and R1 feel a bit cheap as they wobble around a bit and have a somewhat mushy feel when pressed, but overall are fine. The D-pad feels like your traditional D-pad. Each of the other buttons have mild pre/post travel with strong spring back force, leading to a very satisfying click, but are moderately loud to the point if you are in a quiet room, people will be hearing every button press and may throw a shoe at you, so you shut up. Here's a quick little sound test if it comes up. The joysticks are itty bitty, preventing granular control, and for a PC user who doesn't use controllers all that often, leads my aim to being wildly inconsistent and making me feel like I've never gamed before in my life, but do have good resistance and feel like solid joysticks. They do have your traditional joystick click for running and others, which requires severe with mild pre/post travel and strong spring back force, leading to a very satisfying click. Here's a sound test. On the bottom, you have two ports, a 3.5mm port on the left so you can plug your headphones in. Wireless earbuds will also work. I recommend, if you do go down the wireless route, to pick up the Edifier Go7 gaming earbuds. I mean, just look at that. So awesome. I do have a review for that in the description down below. Then you've got a USB-C port on the right for charging your phone, which is angled in a way that when you have it plugged in, it doesn't actually get in your way of when you're holding the device. That was a hard way to say that, as the controller itself doesn't have any batteries or require power, as your phone takes care of that. This USB-C port can also be plugged into your iPad and allow you to use the controller on that, with it being the screen for a larger experience, which is really neat. I don't believe it has any rumble pads, as I think I was just using my phone's haptic engine. It does it so well that it makes it really hard to tell. The coating appears to be very similar to the traditional PS5 controller and is nearly the same exact color as well. Last, this is the same exact device as the original Backbone 1, as far as I know, just branded with PlayStation stuff instead of Xbox stuff, which includes the white color scheme, and instead of saying Backbone on the back, it says PlayStation. Personally, using this device makes me believe this is the future of gaming, where controllers will come with full-on touchscreens, or you'll be able to just plug your phone into it and navigate that way. What's included in the box is it comes with the Backbone 1, a quick start guide, a safety sheet, and an iPhone 13 Pro/Pro Max adapter. Absolutely no instructions whatsoever, which is a bit frustrating, but I think they do that on purpose, so you have to do some research yourself, which makes the device feel more special than it actually is, which I'll get to in a little bit later in the conclusion. So running through a quick setup, you put in the top of your iPhone into the left side of the controller, and then you pull on the right side, align the lightning port, and bam, you're in. Then you highlight the Backbone button, which is pressed, which will then launch the Backbone Plus app. For first-time users, it will walk you through the setup process, which is really just an account creation. This device does include a year of Backbone Plus subscription, which normally costs $49.99 and will renew yearly unless canceled, which I don't know about you, but I'm not super stoked about yet another subscription. No wonder we have less and less money. You buy something that is more expensive than it ever has been, and then you keep buying it year after year after year after year through subscriptions. And yet, we often get inferior products with lack of updates, which is even more icing on the cake. Anyways, tangent done. One thing I do have to give them is props for the early adopters get a lifetime membership, which I can definitely give some respect for. But you and I are not part of this exclusive club. Anyways, back to the Backbone Plus app. It really is the bread and butter of this device. Without it, things are just not the same, as the software is comprehensive and easy to navigate. You can find all kinds of good things in here, along with launch into other apps, which again makes it feel very console-like in the palm of your hands. So without this app, it wouldn't feel nearly as good. However, you don't need this app, as the controller works perfectly fine without it, and all you do need, but it is useful as it does update the firmware through that app, so you'll still need to download it. But one of the reasons why you also don't need it is that you can just go to the apps directly on your device over going into the hub. What you get with this exclusive membership is exclusive perks like free trials for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, Discord Nitro, and in-game items, with many more perks to come, direct messaging and party chat to play with your friends on Backbone, streaming directly to Twitch, and play your favorite games on iPad, Mac, and PC with your Backbone. Access to the revamped Backbone app, including a trove of new features above, as well as future ones. So, yeah, I didn't hear anything in there that made it seem like that was worth $49.99 a year. To be honest with you, probably most of that stuff should be free, just in general, or significantly less, especially on a controller that already costs $99.99, which seems steep anyways. I think $50 to $75 for the Backbone One and $25 a year for the app would be a lot more ideal, but perhaps I'm missing some of the complexities that justify the price. I'd love to hear your opinion in the comment section down below. Is the price justified or not? Why do you think that? And what do you think a good price would be? So moving in to what you have all been waiting for, the conclusion. Going into the part that is the big but about this device is pretty much completely pointless, as you have all the same features, with the exception of the Backbone Plus app, available with the controller that came with your console. Meaning, if you have a cell phone and a console and a PC, you can already do all of these things. You don't need to buy a controller or a subscription to have 95% of these features. But if you want something that is highly mobile and access to that app, then it may be worth it to you. Anyways, this was a different review than normal, as this is a wholly unique device. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below, as I'm sure I missed a bunch of stuff. I really do think this thing is awesome, and it really did make me play, enjoy, and change my mind on mobile gaming, while allowing me to access my gaming catalog and chip away slowly at it while traveling and in between stolen moments, which is definitely a big win for me. If you have made it to this part of the review, associate links are down in the description if you'd like to support this channel and are buying off of Amazon anyways. Like if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, share with those that you think would benefit from it, and subscribe if you would like to see more like this. Otherwise, I will see you and your beautiful face on the next one. God bless, and peace out.